Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Resellers Learning Curve. Of course, I am April. Happy Thursday. So, we've been kind of sort of having discussions on this channel. As I mention in every video, I pay close attention to comments that are left. I actually have push notifications. So, anytime you leave a comment on the channel, I do see those. And we've been having lots of, I would like to believe, kind of high level business discussions this year, as opposed to item specific or sourcing or haul video type discussions, which I like, I enjoy. It's helpful for me because I'm working through all of these processes and different aspects of business, and the more I do this, the more I'm recognizing that you have to always evolve. You have to always change. You have to adapt. And today, I'm at a place where between what I'm sourcing and what I'm selling, it's time for me to adapt. And I see that, and I can see the path there, but I'm not 100% on the methods. So here's where I'm at today. This past week has been one of my worst ever weeks on eBay, and part of the reason is I'm working out some fine details and kinks with my team that I have assembled that's going to help me grow. And in the meantime, I'm not really allowing people to submit listings because there are, like I said, those minor details that I want to get right before we move forward in our process and how we handle listings and get things listed and get them to the storage unit. So I'm working on my process, but in the meantime, I've had less than $300 in sales this week, which for me is absolutely terrible. It's abysmal. It's on par with the kind of weeks I was having back in August when I did less than $2,000 in a month. That's not okay. That's not good. So here's what I think. Number one, I'm not traveling like I once did for business. I used to be on the road a lot more, sourcing at a lot of different places, therefore just finding lots of different types of things. I'm not doing that anymore, and the reason is because I have a job that kind of keeps me put, and a large reason that I have that job that keeps me put is that I don't know how to sit down and be still on my own. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I've ever articulated this thought in this way, but one of the main things that I struggled with when I just sold on eBay and I was a 100% full-time eBay seller was my time management. And I always literally was exhausted. Not only did I feel exhausted, I usually looked a mess because I didn't have to report to an office every day, so there was no motivation for me to get up and shower or comb my hair. It's funny because if you look at some of the earliest episodes of the Reseller Stew, that show actually launched right as I went full-time self-employed, and I was a hot mess. I was a complete mess because I need structure in my life that kind of drives me. And then the things that I want to do, I make those things kind of fit into that structure. That's what works best for me. So I have my job that keeps me kind of settled and in one place, so I don't source the way that I used to. But what I do is I go to my local Goodwill or some other store. Sometimes I switch them out at least once, usually twice a day. And the past week or so has been very decent, very, very decent, very solid. I'm finding things that I can absolutely flip for a good profit, but here's my dilemma. I have always given people the advice that in order to do well and have the kind of sales that you need for eBay to make a full-time living doing eBay, you can't necessarily make it a volume game. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, because obviously you could. You can do whatever you want to do. But I believe when you make it a volume game, then you wear yourself out. I mean, you're really, really subject to high rates of burnout just because you're going. Yes, you could very well ship out 30 $10 items every day. You could do that, but just the toll that would take on your body physically, your mind, your energy levels, your motivation, like that toll would be enormous. And so the trade-off would really be kind of big there. However, my theory has always been that in order to sustain a full-time income, it's not necessarily your volume. You just have to find a sweet spot where you're making big enough flips that you don't have to do so many of them. My average last year, and once again, my volume was super, super low, but my average price per item was $57, like a little bit more than $57. So if you think about, what I actually made on eBay and divide that by the $57, I didn't move a ton of items. I did not move a ton of items. I had months where I might sell 40 items, but when you're selling items that are $80 or $150 or $300, like if you get enough solid flips in there, it doesn't have to be a volume game. However, here is the caveat. Here's the reason I'm making the video. Since I'm not traveling anymore and I'm not finding those home run items, those big items, those flips that get you excited and you want to tell the world, I'm finding a lot of basics, a lot of bread and butter, as people like to call them, type items. And whereas before I would not touch an item if it wasn't a $50 item, not $50 profit, but a $50 item, and I would spend up to $10 to make that $50 in some cases, depending on the item, because I might spend more. It just depends. But today I'm finding myself needing to source items that might sell for between like $25 and $40, and for me it feels like a step back. But here is my thought process and how I'm justifying it. If I sell those lower dollar items, but not too low, I'm not about to ship out $10 items. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't got time for that. That's a big bag of nope. But if I sell the $25, $30 items, then that will increase my consistency enough that I won't need to rely so heavily on those home run flips every month. I always have a good mix of $100 and up items in my store. Just by having those available, it increases the chances that I'll sell a $100 plus item, because I have several of them. But I'm finding that I believe now is the time for me to make that shift, and I need to take like half a step back and source items that are under $50, just so I have the consistency that I need to sustain my income, which, as I always tell you guys, I make my money online, not by doing my full-time job. I get my free rent from doing my full-time job, but I make my money, my income online. So that's what I'm thinking today. And to that end, like I said, my local Goodwill has been very good to me over the past 3 years. Even as I make this video, I just left out with a nice couple of items. I only got like 3 items, but they're those $25 to $40 items. They're not home runs, but they're items that I can absolutely flip, and I paid $5 each for 3 items, so I spent $15, and I can flip those for $25 each. So spend $15 to make $75. I mean, it's not anything to write home about. It's not exciting. It's not even sexy. But what it is productive. It'll pay your bills. I mean, and like I always say, in this business, there comes a time, from time to time, when you just have to grind it out, when you have to bite the bullet and you have to list the items and you don't feel like it. There's a lot of things that you have to do that you might not necessarily feel like doing. And one of those things for me right now is lowering my average sales price per item. I have to, or else it's gonna be feast or famine always for me. I'll have $8,000 months, and then I'll have $1,500 months, and I don't want that. I would rather consistently have $4,000 months, period. That's what I want. So if I know that I want to consistently have $4,000 months, it's up to me to figure out the numbers to make that happen. And guys, let me tell you, when I was doing this full time, It's not hard to consistently have $4,000 months. It's not. It's just not. But right now, I'm refining my business processes. This is a growing period for me and my business. And I just wanted to share those thoughts with you guys. I always try to come to you with like valuable information, things that make you think and make you examine your own business and see if it's time for you to make some changes. So I hope that somebody out there has gotten some value from this video. And if you have any questions, definitely if you have comments, you can leave those down in the comment section, or you can check out the Facebook group, The Resellers Learning Curve, where there's people who don't even watch these videos that would be more than happy to join in the discussion with us. On that note, guys, I hope you have a great day. It's gorgeous here in Ohio. I'm just so happy to be out in the sunshine. I'm excited. Yay. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.